What's up, everybody? So I don't get a lot of reviews on this channel um, because I do honest reviews, but I did get another review to do here, so this is going to be a review video. We'll do a slight unboxing, kind of check out what the truck is, then we'll get it outside and see what all she'll do. I'm kind of excited about this one, so let me turn it around here and I'll show you what I got. All right, there she is. This is by Wiaorchi or whatever, and it's all marked up as 10 speed. I don't know why. That's just the way they do that. It comes in this nice, cool little box. You know, it doesn't really give you a lot of information. It's a 14 scale. It says it's for 14 and up. 114 scale, four-wheel drive, high-speed off-road truck, and that's what she looks like. Now, I've had a lot of luck with Hey Boxing and stuff when I was doing reviews for them, and I did a smaller version of this one that was kind of like the Hey Boxing. Let me show you what that one was. That one was my smaller version right there. There is my Hey Boxing, and that's the smaller version, so there you go. Other than this one having a completely plastic driveline, I can't remember if the gears are plastic or not, but I know all the shafts and everything are. It's pretty good, just like this one here. It's, you know, for what it is, it's just, you know, pretty tough. All right, so there's your little information here. Requires 2 AA batteries, not included. All your caution, BS, blah, blah, blah. Not a toy, suitable for children under 14, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're going to open this up and just kind of see, you know, what we have inside. Now, one thing I will mention on this truck here is we took a shock apart here, and just to show you here, these are friction shocks. There is no way that you can add oil to them. You can probably put a little grease in there to get a little dampening. Let me get some light on here for you. Probably put a little grease in there to get some dampening, but this is not a shock that you can really add oil to. Again, that's not, you know, it's not the end of the world or whatever there. 14 scale shocks are pretty easy to come by, pretty cheap. It's got a lot of other really good parts on here, so let's just kind of check it out here, the way it sits. I know I've got some shocks sitting aside already that would fit this from a 16 scale, the Hey Boxing, and I'm pretty sure they're the same size, so that's what I'm going to do. And those shocks only cost me like, I don't know, $6 or whatever. So if that's the case on this truck, especially with the price of this truck, I mean, come on. There is a possible weak spot I see right here. So I'm 3D printing a piece that's going to go from here to here and kind of strengthen that up a little bit. That may be a potential weak spot. I don't know. We'll have to check it out. But again, that's also another easy fix. So we'll just see what that entails as we get out and drive it. So let's see what she'll do. All right, time to get on with the review of the Wiaorchi, or however you say that there. It's the 14 scale. It's kind of truggy type truck or whatever. I brought the speed meter, and we're going to do a little bit of a speed test on the parking lot here and also in the grass. Just kind of do a little bit of a review, light bashing kind of thing here. I kind of got my hopes up for this little car here, so let's see what all she can do. So let's get right to it. All right, so there's the car, guys. Fasten, yeah, man. Automobile, bio, whatever. Yeah, I think it's a Japanese company. And as you can see, I got the GNSS kind of just stuffed up under here, just sitting on top of the battery. I hope it's going to be good enough here. Got our little remote here. So this is where we're going to run at today. We got the parking lot here. This is at a school. I've got free reign to the field over here, so should have plenty of room to kind of test it out and see what she can do. So let's get right to it. All right, so we got our speed meter charging in the car. So the 7%. So we'll do our speed meter here in a minute. I got a terrible battery on there. I don't know why, but it's just not so great. So what we're going to do right now is just going to kind of run him around a little bit. Nice and straight, like that. A little bit of a wheelie action going on. Let's test the brakes. Wow, those are pretty good brakes. All right, so let's give it a little bit of a launch. It actually does do a little bit of a wheelie. That's pretty cool. Now I have the throttle set on 100% here. You can do 70 or 100. Let's kick it down to 70. All right, not too bad. It's not like it was, you know, on the 100%, but that's not bad. Let's kick it back up to 100. I like it on 100. She's moving pretty good. See if we can get another one of them launches. Now this pack is a 3S pack. You get 2 of them in the box, so I thought that was pretty cool. See if we can get another wheelie. Nope. Try it again. Nope. Well, you can if you do the little stop. So let's see here. You give it a little stop, a little brake, and then hit it. Yeah, you can definitely get a wheelie out of it. All right. Now, what I like about it is it's got pretty good control. So once you let off the throttle, you know, you got to be a little touchy on your steering trim. It's set pretty good from the box, at least on my model anyway. But I don't think there's any dual rate functions here. So you can't really like dial it down or whatever. So what you got is what you got. You just got to be easy on your steering, especially when you're on the throttle. But if you're easy with it, it's not too bad. Just like most of those 18th and 16th scale cars, they all have a little bit of that problem because of the short wheelbases. So let's take it off-road over here while we're waiting for that battery to charge. And let's just see how good she does in the grass. I'm gonna give it a little bit of jump off of here. See what we can do. Not too bad. All right. So let's see how she does in some mild grass here. You know, it isn't real tall or whatever here, but it's a little bit spongy. It's been raining here quite a bit. This is the second day I think it hasn't rained. Looks like we're gonna get down there and do a little bit of jump. So yeah, she runs pretty good in the grass. A little bit on the bouncy side. Like I said, those shocks are just grease filled, or I think they're friction. You can put grease in them, I guess, but they're not oil filled, which is a little unfortunate. But you know, I mean, for what you get for these things here, man, I mean, you could easily spend a little bit of money and buy some better shocks for it. See if I can get a little jump up here. That's what I'm trying for anyway. Nope. No, but she handles the terrain really well. Got a little two-wheel action going on there. Yeah, so it moves really well. It's got the bouncy stuff here, but you know, that is what it is. You can't really do anything about that unless you change out the shocks. Try to get out of my own shadow here. We'll get a little bit of a jump off this little hole here if I can. That was pretty cool. Now I got some decent amount of air. It actually flew really well. Let's check that out again. Wow, jumps really well. Wonder if I can get a little jump off of this over here. So let's check that out too. So see, these little cars, they're a little different than the bigger brothers. Pretty much anything becomes a jump or, you know, some obstacle for them to go over. That's actually fairly decent there too. See if I can get it a little bit better. I know there's a better bite on that one. Here we go. We can get lined up good here. Not quite as good as the other one there. Maybe it's not as steep. But this one over here, even for a short little run up, that's pretty cool. So I would say that this thing jumps pretty well. I mean, durability is going to be one thing you're just going to kind of have to look at over time. Some of these cars are great, some of them's not so great. This one seems like it's got supports all in the right places. So we'll just have to see how it does. Now I like that. That was a pretty cool jump. Let's try that one again. Yeah, I like that one. Ooh, that one was a hard little smack. Little durability challenge there for you. So one thing that these cars have, got a little stick stuck in it too, is on the top here you got the roof skids or whatever. And I've already cracked the body here. It's probably where I smacked down on there. But again, I got 3 bodies, so who cares? I got a whole other body just like that. I don't really care. And honestly, you could probably put 100 bodies on this damn thing. I mean, this thing jumps really well, guys. I am a little surprised at how it jumps. Usually the cars that seem like they're balanced like this, they don't jump very well. This one here seems like it's got the jumping down pretty well. Let's hit it again over here on this curb. A little front flip for you. All right. Let's see if our GNSS is charged enough to get a little bit of a speed on here before we wear this battery down. I'm hoping that it'll hold, at least on the pavement here. It should hold. So let's see. Yep, we got telemetry here. So track, start. All right, let's see what we got here. We've got 11 satellites. So we'll start down here. And again, we're on 100%. We're not even going to mess with 70%. We'll just go from this line here. All right, so here we go. Let's see how fast we can get her. That's full trigger right there. Gonna turn around, come back. All right, let's see if we can get a speed on that real quick. What did we get? Let's read it here. 27 mile an hour. Okay, that's pretty cool. I don't know if you can get any more out of this. I know some cars have the ability. Well, let me show you a couple features here real quick. So one thing that's pretty cool is on this remote here, you got a button for your light. Turn it off and on, right? Now, some of these cars, when you turn them on, you can turn the wheel to the right for a few seconds. And then to the left for a few seconds. And it unlocks a faster mode. Now, I don't know that that's the case on here. So we'll find out. Let's bring him back here. See if we did any better. So we'll hit start. Set that to the side. Just trying to do all this stuff here before that battery wears out again. I'm probably going to have to end up getting another GNSS. For some reason, mine's not doing so well on the battery. All right, so now I'm just going to hit it full trigger and see what we get. All right, bring it back. All right, let's see what we got. Did we do any better than 27? 26. Okay, so it's going to be about a 26, 27 mile an hour car, at least at this point. Now, you could probably gear it up, or there might be something different that you could do to get more speed out of this thing here. All right, so after looking through the manual here, there's nothing that tells me how to get the top speed. I know in some of these cheaper cars, you can hit the button over here 5 times, or you could hold the steering wheel to the right and then the left for like 5 seconds each, and it enables it. This has a selector on it. It goes from 70 to 100. So for some reason, I'm not able to get the advertised speed. The most I was able to get out of it was 27 mile an hour, which I still think isn't bad. I just wish the advertised speed would be correct. So for some reason, I'm not able to reach that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to the Wiaorchi people here and find out if there's something that I'm doing wrong or something that's not in the manual perhaps, and I will put it in this video if I find out. Well, we'll have to look at that part later here. Let's get a nominal speed here, at least off-road here, before this GPS dies. So let's go over here and just kind of see what the normal range is here off-road. Yeah, the one time I'm gonna flip it. There you go. All right, so we'll do a little footage here. Let's see what kind of speeds we can get out of it on the off-road. Ooh. See what we got here. Kind of take a little peek at it. $18 off-road. Okay, that's not terrible, but I want to do some more jumping. Okay, we're going to take the speed meter out of there since it's already suffering and having issues anyway, and we're just going to kind of bash it around a little bit and wear the battery down. So let's take the speed meter out. We'll throw that in the car. And then we're just going to have us a little bit of fun. Now that was pretty cool. So you do have a little bit of air control. I'll show you here. See how you can kind of stop it? I really should have just kind of continued with the backflip there, but you know, I didn't. It'd be nice if you could flip it back over, but yeah, probably not a good idea. That was pretty cool. Kind of wrong timing, but that was pretty cool. Kind of showed you a little bit of the air control. There you go. Now I'm purposely putting it on its hood here. I was trying to do a front flip, but I don't have the room for it really. So kind of bad call on my part, but it is what it is. So now that one I probably could have had enough for a backflip, but again, I chickened out at the last little bit, and there you go. So these things are really cool, if not just for the fact that you can beat on them like I'm doing right here and not have to worry too much about you're going to break the thing, but honestly, you can stick these in a backpack or pretty much take them with you anywhere. They're so small that they're easy to kind of take with you. And honestly, for the price point of this truck, I don't think it's too bad of a quality. Now, is there other ones out there that might be cheaper or whatever? Yeah, sure. You know, it depends on your flavor. Me, I would rather support a brand like this that's kind of up and coming. I've never heard of them. I've done 2 RC reviews for them now, and both trucks have been pretty good. The other one was more of a kiddie type toy grade kind of thing. But again, it had a complete plastic drive line, and I upgraded it to brushless, and it took everything I gave it. Still runs great today. So I was pretty impressed with the plastic drive line. Now this one here has metal differentials, metal gears. Everything on it's kind of hobby grade except for the shocks, really. And the body is what it is. It's one of those PVC type bodies or whatever. So you're not going to get the same durability as you would out of the Lexan. The PVC is a little bit harder and a little more brittle. Yeah, see, I'm going chasing it a lot because I'm trying to just kind of go all out with it. But really, this thing's a lot of fun. See that little backflip right there? That was pretty cool. See if I can get another one going on for you. It's pretty easy to do once you get a decent ramp for it. I gotta hit it just right over here because where I'm at, I don't really have any ramps or anything with me, obviously. Well, so I think if I hit it somewhere on this side, or maybe it was this side, I can't remember, of that white line, I can get an easy backflip. I've done it a couple times now, so let's try this side of the line. Nope. Maybe it was the other side. One of them's a little more severe than the other. And if you hit it just right, you can definitely backflip off of it. That was it right there. I chickened out at the end. You heard me hit the brakes. But it's right about the middle of that line there. So you got to kind of save a little bit of juice to get it done. Right there it was. I just didn't have enough juice. Well, now I'm kind of doing a durability test without trying to. All right. Oh man. All right, let's just get right to it. No more messing around. That would have had it. I got to get a little more speed coming up on it. And I hit the brakes again. That was it right there. But I over-rotated. Now, you've seen how many times I flipped this car. It's been on its top and everything else here. Still running. Nothing's really broke. I did crack the body shell, but I am not worried about the body shell. That's why they give you extra. As you can see, everything's still go. Get some of the crap out of it. Nothing is broke as of right now. And I'm beating on it pretty good, especially with these friction shocks. That's not going to give me the dampening I want, but it's all right. I'm doing more on the top than I am anything, really. Now, you'll see a couple really deep scratches right here. Chassis still pretty straight. I've landed on this bumper, landed on that bumper, pretty hard actually, and it's pretty much taken everything I'm giving it. That was pretty cool. So the front flips are a lot easier than the back flips, obviously. That was kind of planned, except for it didn't go the way I wanted it. Now, that one's got to stick, so. Picked up a friend, didn't you? All right. Looks like I lost a body pin already. I'm not too worried about that. I'm sure I got plenty more at the house. See if we can get anything at all off of this little bumper here. Nope. Just too severe of an angle. But I do like the one down here. I got a little bit of a run up on it. Now, that one I could probably get a decent backflip on if I can get past this hole down here. So this hole down here kind of messes me up because it's kind of right in the way. Maybe I can go beyond it though. Almost. Now, the only reason I'm driving it the way that I am, obviously I'm not that great anyway, but this is typically what your kid's gonna do. So if your kid's gonna drive it this way, you gotta know that at least it's gonna last, you know, a good day at least with them, because kids can be really rough on shit. And honestly, I see no reason why this thing here wouldn't last for a good long time. I mean, look at the abuse that I'm giving it right now. It's taking everything and it's asking for more. So you can't really ask for anything more except for the high speed stuff here, which I can't seem to get it engaged, but that's all right. See if we can get some donuts out of it here. All right, we probably could. Now, something that I'm doing right now is also something else that your kid may do. So in a hobby grade vehicle, or even one that you buy in the store, if you land on power, if you're doing tricks on power and then one wheel comes up, comes down, whatever, or if it goes from back to forwards too fast and you're still engaged in the gear, it's called gear skipping, and eventually you're going to break off teeths and stuff like that. So I've done that quite a bit to this car here, and so far no problems. Now, how long you'll get like that, I don't know. Just like with any other RC, it's a guessing game. Very much just depends on how well the metal is in there. Now, I've been pretty rough on this truck already. I don't usually go this rough on my vehicles anyway, but when I'm doing a review, I kind of want to see what the car will do. So it's full of bad driving. You know, things that I wouldn't normally do when I'm out playing, but something your kid may do. Somebody that's new to the hobby, or somebody that, you know, just wants to get out and thrash and bash around. Now this has all been in 100%, so let's turn it down to 70. Just see what the difference is in the mildness. So there is quite a bit of difference there. But honestly, it's more controlled. Doesn't slide as much. And for a kid, yeah, this is definitely going to be great. And there is LiPo cutoff. So now we have gotten a grand total of 23 minutes out of that battery. Now, the first battery that I ran with this, I got 20 minutes. So I was playing around with it at the house, inside and stuff. I got 20 minutes on the battery. This one here, I just got 23 minutes. And I was being really rough on it, so that's a pretty good sign. Let's go ahead and take this body off here. Let's check our motor, see if it's real hot or the ESC is real hot, and maybe that's the reason it shut down. Let's see the motor. Motor's warm, but it's not blazing hot or anything. ESC feels warm, but not real hot. Got something sticky on it though. So yeah, battery leads, they're okay, even though they're Dean's connectors. So yeah, guys, I really enjoy this truck. Now, a couple things that I think could be a potential problem going forward in the future is this shock tower right here. So that shock tower is a little bit thin, but for where it engages at, it's okay. But yeah, that's really the only weak spot I see so far on this truck. It does not have a center differential, it just has gears. But as you can hear, they're all metal. Maybe you can hear that. So basically it's kind of like a WL Tories where you got a shaft that runs through here. You'll have a gear down here, they call it a center gear or whatever. It leads into a small input that goes into the differential in the back, or output, or whatever that's called. Then in which turn engages your drive shafts in the back, your CVs and dog bones and things like that. Now in the front, it's kind of the same. You'll have a gear on the end of there, does the same thing. The only difference is, now it does come with an extra, this has been a lot of fun messing around out here with this little truck. It did a great job. You know, it's got some abuse on it here. It took everything I gave it. Nothing broke, minus the splits in the body, which I could care less. You get 3 bodies, and you know, bodies are what they are. So yeah, I was very happy with the tires, the traction, the ability to flip and roll and all that kind of stuff. Pretty fun truck. So I would definitely spend money on this. It'd be something that I'd obviously want to upgrade later, but I would definitely buy something like this myself had it not been sent to me. Now, having said all that, I don't do a lot of reviews. So the reason I don't do a lot of reviews is because I do honest reviews. Now, my honest reaction on this truck is pretty good. That doesn't mean that everything's going to be 100%. You know, maybe it'll break later on. I don't know. That's all depending on how you drive it, where you go, what you do with it. My experience, for what I've done with it here, it was just fine. And it's going to be a cool little truck I can take with me pretty much anywhere I go. I can throw this in the back of the truck, take it with me to work. After work, you know, I can go to a park and bash around a little bit, burn out a pack, 20 minutes, blow off some steam while I wait for traffic or whatever to die down, and there you go. That is what I think this is great for. It's also great for your typical kid that would be just getting into RC. It'd be a great entry level for them, and it's great for the intermediates or the experienced as well. So I'm pretty happy with this. I really thank Wiaorchi for letting me check this out. This is the second car I've reviewed for them, and you'll notice that in certain spots there's metal here. It's the same in the front. Those are like targeted metal areas. I do not like the Phillips screws hardware on here. I wish they would change over to all hex, but you know, you could do that yourself, I guess. It wouldn't be terrible. I just wish the manufacturers would start putting hex screws on everything, because they're just so much better than the Phillips hardware. But yeah, it's got the right amount of toe and the right amount of camber, or whatever they call that. So one of them kind of goes out like this in the front, and then in the rear it kind of toes in a little bit. It helps keep it straight. This would be a great little speed runner car. You could beef this up quite a bit, lower it down, and probably get some pretty rocking speeds if you want to turn it into a speed runner. Now, alternatively too, you could put some better shocks on here, and maybe even change out the tires if you're so inclined, and you could do a little bit of budget racing with this. This is a cool little platform. I really like it. This is what WL Toys used to be. WL Toys anymore is pretty much shit, in my opinion. So guys like this and Relarlo and MJX and all them kind of companies like this, Wiaorchi, you know, they're all kind of taking over, and they're doing a way better job than what WL Toys had done for quite a few years now. So I'm pretty happy to see it. It helps the hobby grow, for one, and for two, it just gives us more options to play around and mess with. So yeah, man. All right, so we did our 3S run here on this little guy here, the Wiaorchi car here, the 14 scale. So now we're going to do a 4S run and see what we get for speed on that. So let's check it out. Okay, so we got our speed meter running here. Pull that up for you. So we got it running here. We're just going to leave it sitting in the background. We got everything started here. This is the 4S run. So basically I just got a place here. It's a little warehouse store called At Home. We're just going to run it over here and see what we get. So let's see if our steering trim is not set exactly right. If we can get that set real quick. Okay, it should be good enough. All right, so let's just see what she can do. Woo, a lot more pep on 4S. Kind of ease into it. Wow, I might not have enough room here. This is a lot faster. Okay, let's get to it. So that is full beans, but I think I spit out my GPS. Let's find out here. All right, so not the most ideal setup here, but I did find a little twist tie here, and I got it kind of anchored up on there. Let's just see what we got as of right now. So I'm gonna read this here real quick. We got 34 already, so we're already faster. Okay, so we'll start it again. Try to get a little bit of speed here. I haven't even been able to get half throttle, honestly. It's really tough out here with the wind, and I didn't really expect it to be as fast as it is. So let's take it down here in this little entrance and see if maybe I can get a little more distance on it. Kind of wait for the crosswind to die down just a little bit, and then we'll punch it. All right. Okay, let's see what she got. Kind of ease into it. That's full. Woo! And that's a wreck. So let's try down here first, coming up. See if maybe I can get a little straighter rip on it. All right. So we're going against the wind now. And that is full. I was able to get it stopped pretty smooth. Let's come back. There's full. Brakes are pretty touchy as well, so yeah, man. Now I just kind of got the battery just kind of laying in there, so I'm not going to go too crazy with this here. I just want to see what the 4S is going to give me on this. And again, this is not the most ideal conditions. So it's really cold out, it's very windy. I think we only got about 27 degrees here, so no biggie. We'll see what we got here and kind of get us a barometer on what this car will do. All right, so let's stop it, read it. That only says 35. I know it was going faster than that, so I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if I should try for another run or not. Track start. We'll try one more time here, guys. Like I said, it's pretty cold here, and I don't think I'm getting proper speed here. I know it's going faster than 35. All right, so let's just go for it. Maybe I wasn't in it long enough before. I don't know. All right, that was a pretty decent little rip. Let's just see what we got. Read that one. So see, that one still says 35. Something I think is wrong with that. But even still, that's a lot of power. I know it's got more than that in it. All right, so I'm back in the car now. It's really, really cold out. I think we really got like 22 degrees. But this little guy here, super fun. I'm not able to get the 50 mile per hour speed claim on it. That's okay though. Honestly, this thing is fast enough, and even with 3S, it's pretty fast. But anyway, great car. I really enjoy it, and you're gonna see more from that as time allows. So got some pretty big plans for it. Now that we got the review and stuff out of the way here, we're gonna be doing a little bit of beef and crazy stuff on it. So stay tuned, guys. Appreciate you watching.